From Tatooine to Mustafar, the best of the Outer Rim, it's the one and only Star Bazaar, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Star Bazaar. I'm coming at you with, I suppose, technically a double upload, since I put my Hero Star Cards video out earlier this afternoon, so I think it counts. Anyway, this will just be a hopefully quick but controversial discussion video. I had to get this recorded and out there because I've gotten to a point where my constant complaining on Twitter about these problems just isn't enough to express my feelings on this. We're talking about the two things that, in my opinion, are ruining Battlefront 2's gameplay and why they suck. Hold it, the Star Bazaar is making a negative Battlefront 2 video?
What?
He's pulling a Fire Guy Gaming on this one?
What?
Well, yes and no. Yes, because this is a bit negative, but it's backed by constructive critique, with suggestions of how things can be better. And no, because Fire Guy really isn't negative at all. I don't know what you all are talking about. Shout out to my guy Fire Guy, by the way. This is Coaxium. That's Hyperfuel number 1 for those who didn't know. However, this will be a controversial video regardless, so I'm fully expecting the dislikes, but feel free to leave a comment and tell me how you feel about this. I don't want to start a war with this video, so please keep it civil down below. So what does Turkish Delight think is ruining Battlefront 2? I am glad you asked, my friends. The answer would be stuns and stun locks. These are unofficial terms that have been floating around the community, and many players use them interchangeably. So what are stuns and stun locks? They sound pretty similar, right? Well, they are actually, but they are a result of two completely different game mechanics. Let's define each one so we know what we're talking about. Keep in mind, these are my definitions based on how I understand them. If you call the phenomena something else, that's cool too. A stun is what happens when you get hit by a hero ability such as Chewie's shock grenade or Iden's droid, where the effects of it stop you from moving, dodging, or activating an ability for the duration of the stun. I'd say Kylo's freeze would even fit in this category. This is very different from a stun lock, which is what happens most often after getting hit by a lightsaber or melee attack. It's the small pause after you get hit that locks you out of moving, dodging, activating an ability, or even hitting back if you are also using a saber. This is why, when getting hit by a lightsaber, even if you're quick to dodge out of the way, you will usually still get hit a second time before your dodge command goes through. So why are these a problem? One sounds like central parts of certain heroes' playstyles, and the other sounds like a reasonable response to getting hit by a lightsaber. Unfortunately, when it comes to gameplay in Battlefront 2, these are huge problems. Let's start with the stun abilities and then move on to the locks because they are arguably worse. The stun abilities, I think, exist for a single purpose, as a handicap to give the less skilled players an edge, disguised as defense mechanisms for blaster heroes. This is my opinion, and I don't mean that DICE is being shady in the development of these abilities, of course. I just mean that as good a defense mechanism as these abilities are, they are used far more for offensive purposes, and it absolutely ruins games for players on the receiving end of it. Iden, I would say, is the only one who needs to use it offensively for recovering her health, but besides her, the others do nothing more than make you an easy target to get shot. I get it, they want the game to be enjoyed by all skill levels and give the players who aren't as good, or who can't practice as much, an edge, and that's cool thinking on DICE's part. The problem is, the skilled players can use these abilities too. Chewie saw a pretty decent nerf to his shock grenade, bringing the shock time down to half a second, and it works. I don't fear Chewie in Heroes vs. Villains like I used to, while still maintaining a healthy respect for his power. I think that is a good model for all the stun abilities, and they should also have their stun effects come down to half a second. A lot of you might argue with this, and that's totally fine. I do understand the other side. Again, this is my opinion, and in my opinion, this is a problem the game is facing right now. It's a problem because in terms of gameplay, it's like accidentally hitting the pause button in the middle of a multiplayer match. You freeze, but the game keeps going and there is nothing you can do to save yourself except hit resume as fast as you can. Except in the case of stuns, you don't even get an option to resume. You are at the mercy of that stun and its duration, no matter your skill level, no matter how big of a kill streak you may be on. All you can do is pray you survive, and a lot of the time, you don't. Darth Vader's choke once had a feature where if you rapidly pressed X on PlayStation 4, you could break out of the choke before it ended, if you were fast enough. That should be a feature on all the stun abilities in my opinion, and I think would make the abilities seem more fair for all players. An event like spinning the control stick or pressing a particular button in time, just something to at least give you a chance to survive would be awesome, and would at least make me happier about these abilities. Chances are, the stun abilities will never be changed into something new, so the best we can do is give constant feedback and let the devs know how they are working and try to find that balance with what we have. I don't want to beat that one too much, so drop a comment and let me know what you think about the stun abilities. And now...
this is where the fun begins.
I hate stun lock so much. Check out this video clip, and I want you to let me know if you notice anything wrong here.
How embarrassing.
At first, I tried to hit back. When that didn't work, I tried to dodge, which also failed. Then my stamina started going down because I was trying to block, though I was still getting hit, despite losing stamina from blocking. This is a stun lock, and it is the most powerful weapon at the disposal of a Battlefront 2 noob. I fully avoid confronting sabers in Galactic Assault as much as I can, for this reason. Stun locks happen when a lightsaber user or a melee artist hits you, so combine that with the most effective tactic for winning lightsaber battles, and you can understand how this is a problem. The melee commands in Battlefront 2 work in such a way that they go through even though the animation from the first command isn't finished yet. That's why when you hit the saber button twice, you will swing twice, even though the second press of the button happened during the first swing. This means the commands go through before the animations do, so what you see happening on screen can be a little behind what the data the game is processing actually comes out with. That's why in a swing fest you get delayed hits and delayed kills and weird hit markers and hits that don't register and all that clunky goodness. The game just can't keep up with the volume of commands going through, so it has to prioritize one side over the other. If you're not fast enough in inputting your commands, you will get stun locked out of them each time. The game encourages this spamming mechanic, and it really makes saber combat a mess. It turns what should be a game of tactically outmaneuvering your opponents and minding your stamina into a game of essentially who can hit a button faster. Now, I'm no game developer. Far from it. I've dabbled in CNC coding, but that's a different world, so I don't know how realistic this suggestion is. But the only way I see this being fixed is by making it so further commands are not allowed to go through until the animation from the first one is completed. Meaning, you could still be spamming the button to hit as quickly as you can, but until the first swing is done, you can't follow it up. This would prevent those accidental extra swings, extra 2 swings, extra 3 swings you do when defeating somebody in a spamming contest. This, I think, would encourage players to find that sweet spot in the animation where they know they can swing again, and really turn it into a skill-based mechanic. What a lot of players fail to realize about Battlefront 2 is that it's almost like chess. You have to wait and see your opponent's move before making your own. If Han Solo is spamming his roll and you can't hit him, stop swinging for a second. Let him roll. You know he'll be vulnerable when he comes out of it, then swing. If you're really good, count his rolls, and after he does his second one, attack. It's about timing and tactical gameplay. Unfortunately, currently, it's a spam fest, and I think it's ruining that aspect of Battlefront 2's gameplay. I don't want to drag this video out too long, so I'll leave it here. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Another fix to the stun locks would be to just remove that animation from the game completely, but again, I'm no developer, and I don't know how practical that is, nor how it would affect gameplay. But like, dislike, comment, let me know your thoughts, and please consider subscribing if you're a new viewer. We do Battlefront 2 news updates, tips and tricks, and way more here at the Star Bazaar, so I'm looking forward to you joining us. That will do it from me though. This has been your boy, Turkish Delight, and I will see you all out on the battlefront. Peace.